Hey, you guys. It's your favorite little keto goofball Diamond and
Katie?
Mr. Katie. I'm Katie.
I'm Katie.
I'm sorry, sir, but
You're
I'm
Mrs. Katie.
No, I'm just Katie.
No, you Mrs. Katie.
How about Miss Katie? Like Miss Pac-Man?
She was single. That's why it was Miss.
Mrs. Pac-Man? It don't matter. Today we're going to talk to you about a few things because somebody in the comment section yesterday said they're quitting keto because they went to the doctor and they've never had low thyroid before or fatty liver. The thing is, keto helps those things. And I'm not so sure about the thyroid. I think it doesn't really affect it one way.
I'm not going to lie. I did not research the thyroid a lot.
Right.
But I did go to Thomas DeLauer's video. He touched on it really well. So if you're interested in knowing a little bit more than what we know, go check out his video and also Dr. Barry.
Yeah.
He has a lot to say about it too.
Into the YouTube search bar, type in Dr. Barry thyroid or Thomas DeLauer.
But what I did learn, and from what I've read and from what I watched, keto does not affect your thyroid. From my understanding, and I could be wrong, so don't quote me on it, is when you overeat on carbs, that is when you start having thyroid problems, not when you don't eat enough carbs.
In fact, almost 98% of all disease present in the world today is directly related to how many carbohydrates and how much sugar we consume. It's because we've overconsumed these things. It's not that they're evil in and of themselves. If we were still doing things like we did back in the older days where you had the apple pie for Sunday or the big old loaf of bread on Sunday instead of every single meal, we'd be fine, but we don't do it that way. We eat every day, all day. Sweets are their
main dish.
Yeah, they're like everywhere. You cannot avoid a sweet no matter what restaurant or no matter what store you go into. So we have to be more careful with ourselves as far as the things we choose to consume, because you are honestly what you eat. Every cell in your body is built of the food you intake into your body. So, but we did want to touch on fatty liver disease. That is not a ketogenic problem. That is not something caused by keto. Now, rapid weight loss can cause a fatty liver, but most likely not. Non-alcoholic fatty liver is mostly, they claim they don't know what causes it.
They
However,
say obesity, too many carbs, alcohol, obviously. That's for the...
Well, that's alcoholic fatty liver.
I mean, they got a lot of things they think causes it, but they do not know exactly if that's true or not.
You want me to do it?
You go ahead.
Okay. So we found Duke Scholars, which is, if I'm not mistaken, isn't that where Dr. Westman is at, Duke University or Duke Medical? Anyway, the effect of low carbohydrate ketogenic diet on a non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, a pilot study. This is published by a journal article, or that's just what it says. There's a whole lot of random words in here, but 6 months of a low carbohydrate ketogenic diet led to significant weight loss and histologic improvement of fatty liver disease. Further research into this approach is warranted. So they need to do more research on it. But there is, I mean, it's a long article. I want y'all to go read it and check it out. There was another one also you found, right? Well, yeah, there's Dr. Eric Westman right there, his name. He's got a few articles on here. And you can always research this stuff, but do not research it in relation to the standard American diet. And you have to also be careful with what you research and look up.
The title?
And the title of this article is Keto, the Best Fatty Liver Diet. So if you're going on, hold on a minute, if you're going to run away from keto because of fatty liver, you should probably think twice about that.
Not to mention, I've read a lot of these articles and I've watched a lot of videos. And a lot of times when you get a fatty liver, the doctor's going to recommend a diet. They're not going to call it keto, but it's darn close to it.
A low carbohydrate diet. So anyway, this one says, fatty liver disease is exactly what the name suggests, a disease characterized by the buildup of fat in the liver. There are two main types of fatty liver disease, non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, and of course, alcoholic fatty liver disease, also called, alcoholic stenosis or something like that, but we're not doing the alcohol part today, so that's not important. Both types of fatty liver disease are diagnosed when fat makes up at least 10% of the liver, but the cause of the fat buildup is different for each type. Now, I will say this, I did have fatty liver disease and I do not anymore, or at least it's not a significant issue for me anymore. Okay, let's see. I don't want to read the alcoholic part because that is not something that relates here. Okay.
But if you do have a fatty liver disease because of alcohol, the treatment is real easy. Stop drinking alcohol.
I'm not sure that works.
No, it does.
It does? Is that what it says? I don't know.
Stop drinking.
Okay.
It says if you want to cure yourself from that and that's the cause, stop drinking it.
Okay. So now here we go. The cause and treatment of non-alcoholic fatty liver disease are not as obvious. This is because many different factors other than alcohol can cause fat to build up in the liver. Non-alcoholic fatty liver disease affects 20 to 30% of the adult population in developed countries, but the mechanism underlying its cause are incompletely understood. That probably should say not completely understood. We can, however, take some clues from other common diseases to figure out why this happens.
Epidemiology.
Look, now, we ain't stupid, I promise, but good Lord, some of these words. Epidemiology, I forget it. Studies, including people with type 2 diabetes, 62 to 69% of them had non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. Another study found that 50% of patients with this lymphedema.
It normally elevated cholesterol levels. Let's just say that.
So if you have high cholesterol and diabetes, you most likely have this problem too. Had non-alcoholic fatty liver disease.
But you had high cholesterol because it's probably trying to fix that problem.
That's a possibility too. Obesity, metabolic syndrome, and heart disease are also closely linked to non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. And all of these are treatable with a ketogenic diet. So I'm not going to read the whole thing. They can also look that up. But all of those diseases listed can be treated and reversed with a ketogenic diet. So if you have fatty liver disease, I would most certainly recommend you doing a ketogenic diet. I really need to look up more about that thyroid thing, though. Like I said, it's not something that I've ever had problems with, so it's not something I did a lot of research with. Do you have any other articles on that?
I will read this. Okay. How to reverse a non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, because you didn't scroll down far enough.
Okay.
The key to disrupting a vicious cycle of fatty liver disease before it damages the liver is exercise and diet. That's right. Treating obesity of the liver is similar to treating obesity of the body. In fact, many scientific papers agree that the treatment for non-alcoholic fatty liver disease should be focused on controlling diabetes, obesity, insulin resistance, and
hyperlipidemia. Crazy.
We should only focus on treating the liver in those with non-alcoholic. This means the best way to reverse a fatty liver disease is prevent liver damage is with a diet that has been proven to control diabetes, obesity, insulin resistance, and whatever the hell you said that other word was.
Hyperlipidemia.
Luckily, this diet already exists and has been found to more effective than...
Where are we? Oh, caloric restriction.
And low-fat diets. This diet is called the ketogenic diet, a diet that focuses on restricting carbohydrates, removing one main driver of fatty liver disease from the diet. However, we cannot call the ketogenic diet the ideal for fatty liver yet, because this is only in theory.
But it's a damn good theory. I call that more a hypothesis.
But they say you need to help your liver, you need to cure all those other diseases, and they said keto cures all those other diseases.
Or it vastly improves them nonetheless.
Now, go to Dr. Ken Berry, go to Thomas DeLaury. They talk about these in great detail, and they all will tell you.
And they'll tell you the science behind it. We're just telling you in layman's terms what we've come to understand and research.
They both will tell you the exact same thing. The way you get a fatty liver is not from eating fat. It is not. It is from eating carbs.
It is from storing fat. And if you're in ketosis and you're burning fat, you cannot get fatty liver disease, or you shouldn't be able to.
And I know the wife here has told y'all many, 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 many times, and if you don't believe her, you can go look at Ken Berry's video. Do not worry about your cholesterol. If your doctor says your cholesterol is high and I want to put you on pills, politely tell them, let me worry about my cholesterol. You worry about what I came here for.
Yeah. And just in case you didn't know this, cholesterol is, I think I've told y'all this many, many times, but if you're new to me, if you're just watching this video for the first time, high cholesterol, your cholesterol gets high for two reasons. Your body's in repair mode because every cell in your body is made out of cholesterol. I say this all the time. I answer emails with this all the time. And the other reason is because you're losing weight and cholesterol is stored in your fat cells. It's got to be distributed and then you'll get rid of it. It's fine. Your cholesterol, my cholesterol went high. My doctor freaked out, said, take this pill. I was like, nah, I'm good. And my cholesterol levels went back down to normal. Yours will too. Relax. I promise. Cholesterol is not the demon.
Now, if y'all have already watched her other video, y'all heard her rant about doctors and how they're drug pushers.
I did.
This is earlier. A pretty accurate reputation of them. They would rather give you something to take and hope it helps than actually look at your problem and fix the problem that's causing it. When your cholesterol gets high, instead of trying to figure out why your cholesterol is high, they're going to give you something to lower it. But there is a reason why your cholesterol is high, and they're not going to look at the reason why it's high. Take some time, do some research on what is ailing you. Do not go to the doctor and say, doctor, I hurt, and not know why. Because they are going to tell you 1 million of different reasons why, and none of them's going to be right.
Most likely none of them.
If you got diabetes, research it. See what you need to do. See what other people's doing. If you got a fatty liver, don't just take your doctor's word for it and say, okay, I need to get off this diet. Research it. See what other people's doing. The doctor is just doing what's best for him. Because if he puts you on meds, 9 out of 10 times, you're coming back for more meds.
That and they're getting cake packs. But even if these doctors, I'm not completely against doctors. I don't want y'all to think that. Some of them do some miraculously life-saving, wonderful things.
Neither am I.
With surgery and surgical things. So I'm not knocking your doctor. What I'm saying, though, is do your own research because that doctor only knows what they were told in medical school. And the medical school is ran by the pharmaceutical companies.
Let me give you a perfect analogy. Okay, I've been fighting my back pain for 4 years now. And before I got a regular doctor, I was going to urgent care. And I would go up there every time that I got an issue where I could not work. And it was quite regular. Finally, the doctor told me that this is a pain I'm going to have to live with. That there is nothing that can be done about it. It's sciatica. You're just going to have to learn to live with it. Now, I said, okay, that's fine. It is what it is. If that's what I got to live with, it's what I got to live with. But then I get my family doctor, my regular doctor, and I tell him what she says, and he about blew his lid. He said, no doctor should ever tell you that is something you got to live with, because it is not. And he says, first off, it's not sciatica, and you definitely don't got arthritis. You got a little bit of spot that you might have arthritis, but it should not be causing you any pain. And this was just my first visit with him. So what one doctor tells you don't mean it's right. Get a second opinion.
And do your own research, because in your health, in your life, you are your very best advocate. You're the one that cares the most whether you stop hurting or not. You're the one that cares the most whether you get healed or not. You're the one that cares the most whether you live or not. So do your own research.
Another thing, remind you, like I said, I've had this for 4 years. I've only been seeing my doctor now for what? A little over a year. A little over a year. So for 3 years, I was in intense pain. I went to work every day. I did the best I could. If I couldn't make it all day, I left. And I would go urgent care. Not once did they ever do anything that relieved the pain. Ever. My first visit with my doctor, he prescribed me some pills, Tramadol. And ever since then, I have barely ever left my job. They do get me through the day.
Urgent care, really, their job really is just to patch you up and send you home. But a lot of times...
They're still doctors.
They are still doctors, and getting to the root cause of things, I think, really should be their main objective. Yeah, okay, you hurt in your back. Have a good day. Sorry about that, fella.
Pretty much.
How about finding out the reason? Or sending them to a specialist to find out the reason. Find the reason, the root cause. There is a cause and effect to everything. Something we're doing, something that has happened, has affected you in a particular way. Finding the reason could help reverse it, could help cure it. You might have to deal with a pill all your life. Just like my blood pressure is high, not due to keto, but is high. I may, for the rest of my life, have to take blood pressure pills, but I want to know why. Even if I need the medication, I want to know what has affected my body, what has gone wrong to cause me to need those pills. I have no problem taking them if I need them, if that is the only way. But prove to me that that is the only way. Make me come to your doctor's office twice a month to get this check, get that check, try a new one, try this one. I don't want to be on 40 different random medications you know nothing about just to maybe heal me. Or to maybe treat me, should I say. I want to know the cause.
One last thing before we close this out. Remember, who is the customer? Who's going in there asking for help? You are. So when your doctor tells you or tries to give you something you do not want, you remind them that you're paying them. So they need to listen to you.
But do it nicely.
Yes, do it nicely. Do not piss your doctor off, because he might stick you with a needle for no reason.
Here, you need a flu shot. I mean, you shouldn't do that.
Respectfully let them know that you do not want a Band-Aid, you want a fix. When they try to give you medicine that you know ain't going to work, don't just say okay and go home like you did.
I did not. I said I would give it the chance.
But then you got home and you was upset like you had been for the day. This is everything you should have said on these videos. You should have said to that doctor, even though
I did. I sent her an email.
Okay, you did now, and I'm proud of you for that. Take your life in your own hands, people.
Because
you only got one to live. So why are you trusting it with somebody else?
Anyway, guys and dolls, that's all we got for you today. We've probably been talking way too long.
Actually, not. It's shorter than your video.
Oh, is it really? Holy crap.
9 minutes.
Oh, wow. Much love to you. We'll be back tomorrow. And, of course, you'll see my chit-chat and weigh in tomorrow with Big Demi in it.
Y'all have a good day, people.